everyone is into Stranger Things, and everyone has been telling me, you know, check it out, it's a great series and all that good stuff. And I tried like 3 consecutive times I tried watching Stranger Things 3 times, and I couldn't get past episode 1. I don't know, the thing about it is that, right, if the series or the movie or whatever I'm watching doesn't capture my attention in the first like 5 minutes or so, then I'm sorry, I'm most likely not gonna end up looking at it. Since you're here, please hit that subscribe button down below. While you're at it, give this video a thumbs up, guys. It really helps me a lot. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and by subscribing, you guys are really helping me out, so I do appreciate it if you guys have subscribed already. However, then you guys already know how we get down over here with the get down. Welcome back. Turn just post notifications on, that way whenever I post a video, you guys can be informed. You can come over, check it out, see what I'm talking about, see what's going on in my neck of the woods, you know, converse with me down in the comment section, and you guys already know how we do. So without any further ado, based on the title of this video, you guys know what we're about to do, so let's get right into this video. If you guys have not seen Stranger Things season 1, if you're just getting into it, then this is not gonna be the video for you, because there are a lot of spoilers that I'm gonna give, and yeah, you might want to click off this video before I even begin. If you, however, do not really care about spoilers, then you can stick around, because I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown of basically everything that went on, or majority of what went on in season 1 of Stranger Things. Clearly, I'm in a new setting. I'm wearing different clothing, and yeah, so my battery died while I was doing my intro, and it's another day, but we're still doing the same video. I didn't have the energy to wait for my battery to charge and for me to get back on here. So new day, same topic, we're talking about the same thing. Let's just jump right into this, because this video is gonna be longer than I want it to be. So yeah. So first off, Stranger Things is being set in a place called Hawkins. Now, I have no idea if Hawkins is an actual place, if it's a real state, if it's a real country, if it's a real city. I have no idea if Hawkins is real. So if you guys know about this place called Hawkins, please let me know down in the comment section below. But yeah, Stranger Things is being set in a place called Hawkins. Okay, now when the first episode begins, we see this dude running for his life, like sprinting for his freaking life. Now, I'm not sure what he was, if he was a scientist, if he was a surgeon. We're just gonna say he was a scientist, okay? Because he was in a white lab coat, he looks like he was in a laboratory somewhere. And this nigga was running for his life, okay? So the scene opens with him running, and it seems like he was being chased by some evil force or evil creature or whatever it was, because we couldn't see what it was, but he was just being chased by something. He was running for his life. Then he entered an elevator, and then he just vanished. It seemed the creature took him or ate him or whatever. We have no idea, but that is how the scene opens. Now, I think the whole first season is based off of Will's disappearance. Now, Will was over at his friend's house. I think his friends were, I just want to make sure I have this correct. So his friends were Mike, Dustin, and Lucas. Now, Will was over at his friend's house. They were playing Dungeons and Dragons. Now, after that game, Will decided to go home. So he took his bicycle, you know, and he decided to ride home. Now, while he was on his way home, or I think when he just got home, it happened in the driveway. Yeah, I think he encountered that same creature or evil spirit or whatever the hell it was. He encountered that same whatever it was, and then he completely vanishes. So that is how the theme of the first season began. That is what the theme of the theme of the first season is basically based off of, you know, finding Will Byers, what happened to Will Byers. So that is how the first episode started off, and I think that's all you need to know about like the opening of this series. Now, the day after Will Byers disappears, we get introduced to a new character by the name of 11, or they call her L for short. Now, 11 is like a young girl, very timid, very shy. She doesn't talk a lot. Her head is shaved, and the first time we got to see her, she was in like a hospital gown. She looked like she escaped from wherever the hell she was, and she broke into a diner. She seemed to be very hungry and she was stealing food. So that's like the first look we got at this new character by the name of 11. Now Benny, I think his name was Benny, who was the owner of that diner, actually caught 11 stealing food, and like he took pity on her and he wanted to know more about her. He wanted to know like where she came from, why was she in a hospital ground, did she run away and stuff. So I think he went ahead and called social services, and later on in that scene a woman came to the diner pretending to be a social worker and ended up shooting Benny in his freaking head. Who knew? Benny died and 11 got away. So for some reason this woman was after 11, and then that is just how the plot started getting thicker. So she came here pretending to be the social worker, you know, because Benny actually called her. She came pretending to be the social worker, unknowing to Benny that this bitch had a gun, shot Benny dead in his head, and yeah, proceeded to try to catch 11, but 11 was a bad bitch, you know. She escaped, boom bam turkey and ham, she ran, and that bitch could not catch her. Meanwhile, Will's mother was going crazy. I mean, if your son is missing, I mean, you'd be searching frantically for your child. So she was going crazy, she was going insane, she had no idea what happened to Will, so she was still looking for her son. And then she started, you know, doing a lot of weird stuff. She started she thought she was communicating with him through like light bulbs in the house and the telephone and stuff. So she was starting to, a lot of people thought she was going crazy, because to her son wasn't dead. Like a lot of people were starting to think that Will was dead because they couldn't find him, but she was having some sort of communication with him, or so she thought, having some sort of communication with him through like the telephone, anything that had to do with electricity. She felt some sort of communication, some sort of vibe coming through those things in the home.
The next day, Will's mom Joyce reports her boy missing, and her old friend Chief Hopper gets right on the case. Yep, right. He gets to it eventually. But while the search parties prove unsuccessful, Joyce gets a distorted call that seems to be from Will, which causes the lights in the house to go haywire.
Okay, now while all this is going on, Will's best friends, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas decide to go out looking for him, and that's the first time they actually came in contact with 11. Now they decided to help her. They took her over to Mike's house, I believe. Yeah, they took her over to Mike's house and decided to hide her away, you know, to find out more about her, find out where she came from and stuff. But she wouldn't talk, so Mike decided, well, my mom might be able to help you, so why don't I go, you know, tell my mom that we found you, and maybe she can call someone can come pick you up, you know, we can get you some assistance, you know. Mike was just trying to help, but 11 was like, no, this is not happening, you're not gonna call anyone. First of all, I didn't ask for your help. So yeah, that's the first time she actually used her power. Like when Mike tried to open the door to go get help for her, that's the first time she actually used her power to slam the door shut, and that's when they realized that this bitch is crazy. Like, I'm just kidding. But that's the first time she actually revealed her powers to them, and that's the first time they actually realized that, oh, this chick is not normal.
One of a number of the lab's experiments, 11. She's telekinetic, so that's cool. Mike, Lucas, and Dustin find her in the woods and bring her back to Mike's house to hide her. 11 seems to know that Will is hiding somewhere from the Demogorgon.
Barb was a red-headed, goody two-shoes type of, you know, kiss up to the teacher, always do your homework, make sure you're home on time type of, you know, always do what's right. She was that type of teenager. Now Nancy, who was Mike's older sister, right? She was going to a party at her boyfriend Steve's house, and she invited Barb to come along. So Barb went along, you know, with Nancy, because Nancy is her best friend, so she decided to go with Nancy. But when she got to that party at Steve's house, she realized that, like, you know, they were drinking and doing stuff that she wasn't interested in doing. So she ended up getting into an argument with Nancy. Nancy, however, wanted to, you know, get out of her comfort zone, act wild, be a teenager, you know, and enjoy herself. So she was like, well, bitch, if you don't want to be here, if you don't like what we're doing, then you can go. Well, she didn't say it that way, but, you know, if you don't like what's going on, then you can go home. So boom, bam, turkey and ham. Nancy decided to stay at the party. Barb decided to, you know, leave. But instead of going home, she went by the pool to sit down. And yeah, I think she ended up cutting her finger because they wanted her to try drinking beer or something like that. She tried opening the can, it caught her finger, and then she went to sit by the pool. While sitting there, some weird shit happened, and then Barb ended up disappearing the same way that Will vanished. Barb was there 1 minute, gone the next, like poof. have no idea what happened to her, but she completely disappeared. Okay, now before I continue, I just need to explain that this series has a lot of in and out. So it's basically like they show us a lot of things happening in reality, and then they show us a lot of things happening in like a completely new, like a different alternate universe. So it's like parallel universes. So we have reality, and then we have something happening on the other side of reality, if you guys actually understand what I'm saying. So cut to, what's her name again? I'm sorry. Yeah, Barb. Sorry. Yeah, cut to Barb. So we see one more glimpse of Barb. She wakes up in some weird-looking alternate universe, in the woods somewhere, and then she's dragged off by, I think, the same creature that took Will. So yeah, and that was like, I think, the last time we actually saw Barb in the series. I think that was the last time we actually saw her. So yeah, Barb disappeared, Will disappeared, that scientist guy disappeared, and we have yet to see the creature. So people have just been going missing from like the get-go of this series. People have just been, you know, being taken, like what's going on? People have just been poof, disappearing, and it just gets more and more interesting like as the series goes along. But yeah, so far we have 3 people completely vanished, completely disappeared in the first freaking episode. Like, I've been missing out, guys. Okay, now remember I told you guys earlier on about Will's mom, right? Her name is Joyce. Now, for some reason she did not want to believe that her son was dead. She could feel that he was alive. He was communicating with her through lights and shit. He was communicating with her through appliances in the home, okay? So she decided to like string up, like put up Christmas lights and stuff as a way to communicate with him. And when she indeed felt like it was him that was speaking to her, she actually got to see Will. Like Will actually got to tell her that he was alive. So he was communicating with her through lights and stuff. So she would tell him like, if this is you, make the lights blink once. If it's not, make the light blink twice. So she was using, basically she was using lights to communicate with her son. So she knew for a fact Will was alive, but then her hopes got crushed because they actually found Will's body in the quarry. Or at least we think it was Will's body, but as time goes by you guys will find out that it wasn't Will. But yeah, so that is what happened pretty much in the first episode. Okay, so I realized that if I actually have to like do the entire summary of what happened in season 1 in just one, because I like to go in depth. I know some people actually do reviews and they just give you like a briefing. You don't really get the full detail of what happened, but I want to give you guys like a full in-depth, you know, summary of everything that happened. And if I have to do that in one video, it's gonna be too long, so I'm gonna cut this video short. We stopped at the disappearance of Barb, so we'll continue with what happened in this series, like in the season 1, in another video. I'm gonna cut this one short because I don't want my videos to be too long and for you guys to get bored. So yeah, if you guys are not subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Keep it safe, fierce, love, and all that good stuff. Peace.